I'll tell you just now.
Should I start? Hi, okay, I don't know whether to say hi guys because I haven't said it in a while, but I think all I can say is hi. Hope you guys have been well for the rest of the year. For the so many months you've not seen me. Um, yeah, life has been a bitch. Sorry for saying that, but life has been quite difficult on my end. I didn't disappear because I wanted to disappear. Well, I disappeared fast because I was like, I need a break. And then the break came with so many challenges. As you can hear, my voice at the moment is not my voice. I've lost it for the past 2-3 days. I've had flu for the past 1 week today, which even made me think that I had COVID, but it wasn't COVID. But yeah, the main reason why I've been so lost is my health. I've had a roller coaster of health issues, which started with my feet. My feet have actually been swelling since I was 16 years old. That's 2010, yeah. And at first it was nothing. We assumed it was nothing. You know, when you're Africans, people say, "Oh, someone sangomed you." So it was like someone sangomed my legs because I was a smart one and all that, which wasn't the truth. It's a series of things that was only discovered now, technically 10 years later, because I'd seen doctors. No one was like, no, everyone was like, you're cool, there's nothing wrong with you, just sit with your legs elevated. I will sit with my legs elevated, nothing happens, because as soon as they're down, they're back to being swollen. I'll put a picture up and you'll see. Then after that, like the swelling, so this year, as soon as I started work, so I started work in February, it started, like, the swelling came with so much energy, let me say. It was coming to put me down. So my feet were swollen to a point I couldn't walk on my toes. I couldn't walk on my sole. I had to walk on my toes. So my leg couldn't touch the ground because it was just too painful. So like, there was a lot of water retention there. And then went to my GP, was sent to a physician who diagnosed me with something called connective tissue disease, of which, me knowing myself, I had to go around asking my doctor friends, and they're like, no, if you have something like that, you should start when you're young and all that. But then he gave me some medication, which I used, and I think I took those pills for like 3-4 days. And after that, it was a roller coaster on my skin, because from the top of my head to the heel, rather the sole of my foot, both feet, I would just itch, and it's been itching since March until now. I'm only feeling so much better now because I saw a dermatologist a few days ago. So there was that, and then the pill that I was given, so I had to stop that medication because it was hurting me. And I didn't know that the medication was what was hurting me. I only found out recently when I was also inquiring from doctor friends. And they're like, no, the 2 pills I was given were quite harsh to my body, and I didn't really need them at that time because one of them would have done the work that both of them were supposed to do, right? At that time, yes, I did see a change in my feet, but it was a 2 minutes, 10 minutes change, because as soon as my feet were on the ground, back to swelling. Then it came not being able to breathe. So this is around May. Around May. So it's sorry. So it's not being able to breathe at night. I would have things like panic attack, but it wasn't a panic attack. It's just I couldn't sleep, and then as soon as I'm waking up, as soon as I wake up, that's how I was breathing. Like, you'd think I was about to drown at that particular time. So I insisted, and I was taken to a cardiologist at Steve Biko, who checked me, and this doctor diagnosed me with an enlarged heart. So one side of my heart was enlarged, and so the right ventricle, and then he said there was a hole. So it's now stressed because I'm like, how can I have a hole in my heart? Because what we're saying is it was there since I was young. It's just that no one ever found it. And now this was making sense as to why my feet were swelling, right? Maybe it was something to do with my weight, the weight of my body, because I gained so much weight at the beginning of the year, or rather I was starting to lose it at that time, but it was still a lot, and I think the pressure was on my feet, because at the moment I'm quite skinny, I'm very skinny. No, no meat, no meat. But the feet are okay. So maybe it could be related to that. I'm not sure. But what I think is the best explanation to what has been happening to my feet is just the issue with my heart. So that is July. Then I was supposed to be scheduled for a surgery on the 25th of August. But I never went in. And I didn't go in at that time because there was a mix up somewhere. So the doctor I was supposed to see thought I was going in for a checkup. And also, things just got shambled up. I remember this time I was very, like this August period, I was very distorted. I wasn't happy personally because one of my friends was getting married and I was looking forward to going to this wedding. Amal, she stays in the States, but now she was going home. And also, it was a chance for me to go home. Then I was like, no. So the dates got shambled up in the sense that I was supposed to go to the hospital on the 25th, but I ended up going to the hospital in the week of the 13th. No, that's the time I was discharged. It was around the first week of August. I can't really quite remember the date. So when I got to the hospital, immediately I was checked in. I was Lily Lazo, I don't know how to say. I was admitted, yes. I was admitted for like a few days. It was just the doctors running like few checkups on me once more. So the previous doctor that checked me, they didn't do so much of the investigation. That's why they came up with the conclusion of a hole and an enlarged heart. So these are the doctors. They checked me, and yes, it was the enlarged heart was there. Yeah. So the pressure was too much on my heart, and because it was enlarged, it was pressing on my lung, and I couldn't breathe. So now I'm finding every explanation as to what was going on with me. There's the lack of the difficulty in breathing because I couldn't even walk for 2 minutes. Like there's a flat surface from here to my gate, and as soon as I could get to the gate in the morning on my way to work, guys, it's like I was finished. It was that's how I was breathing, and I could feel like nothing is going in, nothing is coming out for like a good 4, 5, 6 weeks. Hence, that's when I actually emphasized that I needed to see a cardiologist. So they checked me. Yes, there was the RV, the enlarged RV, which was pressing on my lung, which now is better because now I'm on heart medication, pressure medication. At my age, I'm only 26, 27 today. Woo. And maybe it's my lifestyle, maybe it's how I've been eating, but I've tried to change everything around. I don't drink much alcohol, so I wouldn't say it's that. I don't really drink much. I drink just a tiny little bit. So yeah, there was that, and then the hole wasn't now a hole; it was a leaking valve, which now makes a lot of sense because that leaking valve is what would make the things go down to my feet. And this time when I was admitted, I did something called an angiogram. So it's when they sort of like use a certain needle. I don't know it. Literally, I felt like I was in Grey's Anatomy or the resident or what. It felt so real because they even took me to the theater on the bed and all that. I was in the ICU for the night after I came out of the theater when they did the angiogram. So they put in a needle and they just use something. The doctors, you'll tell me in the comment section. And then they just looked through, like it was so real. And after that, they needed to do TEE where they put like a camera down your throat. And when they gave me a sleeping pill, guys, I was out in seconds. I think the last thing I remember was the doctor telling me, "Oh, you have a beautiful smile." I was like, "Yeah, I got it from my father." I think that's the last word I said. When I woke up, it was, I went in around 2 o'clock. When I woke up, it was around 4:40. And I hadn't eaten. Like this whole period was just hectic because I love food. The day I was supposed to be admitted, before I went, I was told the last time I should eat is at 10 o'clock. I ended up eating at 11 o'clock, well, because I was alone and I wasn't really in the mood of cooking. Then after that, the next time I ate or drank water was at 3 o'clock the next day because I didn't go for the mini operation I was supposed to go to. Then after that, the same day, so I ate. I think the last meal I had again was 8 o'clock that night. The next time I ate was 5 o'clock the next day after after I went in for the TE. So that one was also painful for like 3 or 4 weeks. Even now, sometimes I feel a bit of pain, especially when it's cold. I feel a bit of pain at that particular point. So that's been until August, and then now nursing my wound, and then comes the flu, which feels like it was COVID. This thing has really taken me down, like to a point where my head was aching for like 3 4 days, 3 days in a row. Something also I also forgot to mention that one of the symptoms that I had in the beginning of the year was the headache. So I would go to sleep with a headache, or I would wake up with one, and it would be there for like a few hours, without, even if I took pills, nothing. But now this time at least I took a very strong pill, and like strong, what do you call it, painkiller. It's part of a COVID package. So when you think you have COVID, now this is learning time for you guys. When you think you have COVID, or rather the symptoms are too strong and you've not even confirmed it yet, so the EMTs that came to my house, I think on Wednesday early morning around 2 3 o'clock, because I couldn't take the headache anymore. So they came in, they checked me. They're like, oh, this is possibly COVID, because I'd done the COVID test on Tuesday, so I was waiting for it to come out, and it was only going to come out the next day, the Wednesday. So when they came in, they told they told me to, oh sorry, they told me to ask for a COVID pack from a 24-hour pharmacy. I think this is one of the things you need to know. Maybe try find out if there's a 24-hour pharmacy around your area. Have the numbers of the EMTs or any emergency room in your call log, because my baby sister had to call a few friends from like 1 o'clock to like until the EMTs came around 3 o'clock. It was just phone calls. Call this friend, and of course people are sleepy. You can't even disturb them that much and all that. But Audrey, thank you, one of my closest friends. She came through. She sent me the numbers of the EMT guys. We called them, they came in, gave me the instructions, gave me what to do, and those pills is what I've been using since last week Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, actually. But yeah, so apart from that, there's my heart medication. It's just been a lot. And then apart from that, there was also, in the mix of those sickness, there was also the stress with me and my former housemate, dispersing, or rather breaking up and going our own ways. That's the next video, so tune in. There'll be another story time. This one will be fun, you'll laugh. But yeah, so I think 26 hasn't been the best, honestly. It started well because of God work. There's also been challenges at work, of course, because of my health and other things. But all I'm saying is, I feel like this year, if there's one thing it has taught me, be happy with what I have, be strong, because I've just fought. Every single day has been a battle, a different battle of my life. And I was telling the person behind the camera that I feel like in this 1 year I've lived 50 years, because it's been a whole new role of challenges. I don't think I've faced this much challenges in my life, and it's not been to this extent, it's not been this strong, because before it was academics, there's nothing much to it. Finances, nothing much to it. You wake up the next day, you find a way. But now this is something just brought me to my feet, and I feel like I've lost so much this year, especially with regards to work, the steps I should have made within this 1 year. I've lost so much with the contact and connection with you guys, in terms of no videos. For the past 3 months, I've not even taken any pictures. I was taking pictures yesterday, and I kept on saying I'm rusted. So yeah, just need to find myself again. I need to bring back the vibrant Jane, the go-getter, the smiling Jane, because it's been frowning. But I guess that's been the sad part of it. So this is me giving you an update as to why I haven't been around. The scares of my life. Just make sure you guys are okay. Check in on yourselves. If you have to do checkups, if you have the ability to go for checkups every now and then, go for it. Because one of the things that my dermatologist was also thinking is wrong with me is that my kidney has a problem, my liver has a problem. Then she was even like, oh, you might have lupus, and I'm like, that's too much for anyone to handle. So I'm still doing so many tests at the moment just to find out what could be the source of the problem. But yeah, the other thing is like my thyroid as well could have a problem. Like, the amount of things that this woman was telling me, I was just like, okay, another one, okay. So yeah, make sure you check up on yourself. Make sure you change your way of living, your diet, your drink water. I think that's the other thing that also affected me, because before last year December, when I made the conscious decision of taking water, drinking water at least 2 liters a day, I would never take water. I would go for like 3 4 weeks without even drinking water. Maybe I would drink juice, and I'm like, that's in place of water, which doesn't make sense. Your body needs water. Your body will suffer at the end of the day. So it's just changing my lifestyle at the moment, trying to do better, trying to take care of myself. I'll try to come back now. I'm coming back like for real. New year, new things, 27. I'm a different person. Anyway, please tell me how your year has been. Tell me the good side, honestly, because I just want to hear good news. You can also tell me the sad parts of it and how you overcame it. Maybe someone would go through the comment section and find something valuable, something they can use to hold themselves during this last few days of the year. I wish you a happy Christmas. That's if I've not uploaded a video by then. And I wish you a happy New Year if I've not uploaded a video by then. May the Lord protect you and may God keep you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe. All right. Bye. Done.